Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. I am HA. Today we will be exploring decision trees, a simple yet powerful way to make decisions. Here's what we will cover today. So let's get started and make sense of how decisions can be visualized and automated. Let's start with decision trees. They are powerful models used for classification and regression. They work with labeled data, meaning we have both the input and the target. One of the best things about decision trees is that they not only make predictions but also reveal patterns and structure in the data, giving us useful insights. Now, next is focus of chapter. In this chapter, we will mainly focus on classification trees. Regression trees will be explained later. Some practical use cases include recommending apps to users, predicting university admissions. This will help you see how decision trees are applied in real world scenarios. Let's move to the next topic, how decision trees work. Decision trees work in a very human-like, intuitive way. They make predictions by asking a series of step-by-step questions, just like we reason through decisions. The structure of a decision trees flows from top to bottom, starting with the main question at the top and narrowing down to specific answers at the leaves. Let's look at a simple example. Deciding whether to wear a jacket. So here the tree starts with a question, is it raining? If yes, the decision is straightforward, wear a jacket. If no, we ask another question, is it hot? If yes, you don't wear a jacket. If no, you wear a jacket. This shows how decision trees break decisions into step-by-step questions, making reasoning clear and intuitive. Let's understand the structure of a decision tree. A decision tree is made up of nodes and branches. Think of it like a flowchart where we ask questions step by step to make a decision. At the very top, we have the root node, which is the first question we ask. From there, the tree splits into decision nodes, which are the internal questions guiding us down different paths. Finally, we reach the leaf node, which represent the final decision or output. Here, you can see how the nodes are connected by branches. Each branch represents a possible answer to a question, usually yes or no. By following the branches from the root to a leaf, we reach a decision. So, root node is first question at the top. Decision nodes are internal questions that split the data, and leaf nodes are final decisions or outputs. This structure allows the decision tree to mimic a human-like step-by-step reasoning process. Next is binary tree nature of decision trees. Decision trees are naturally binary trees. This means that each node in the tree can have either two branches or none. Here, the left branch typically represents a yes answer while the right branch represents a no answer. If a node does not split further, it's a leaf node, representing the final decision. So the important things to remember, each node has 2 or 0 branches. Left branch is yes, right branch is no. This binary structure is why we call decision trees binary trees, and it allows clear step-by-step decision making. Now let's look at a special case of decision trees called a decision stump. This is the simplest type of decision tree. A decision stump contains just one root node and two leaves. It essentially represents a single yes-no question and directly leads to a decision without any further splits. So the main takeaways are simplest decision tree structure, only one root node and two leaf nodes used to represent a single decision question. Next, let's talk about tree depth. The depth of a decision tree tells us how many levels exist below the root node. Tree depth can also be thought of as the longest path from the root node to any leaf. For example, a decision stump which has only one root and two leaves has a depth of 1. More complex trees with additional decision nodes will have greater depth. Sometimes we may have multiple decision trees for the same problem, but which one is better and why? Let's look at 3 example trees. Tree 1 asks, is it raining? If yes, wear a jacket. If no, it asks if it's hot to decide. If it is hot, then not wear a jacket, but if it is not, then wear a jacket. Tree 2 is more detailed. It checks multiple conditions. Did the cat meow? Is homework done? Did you eat ice cream? But does this tree make sense to decide wearing a jacket or not? No. Tree 3 is again same. It is also not making sense. So which tree do we think is better when it comes to deciding whether or not to wear a jacket? tree 1, tree 2, or tree 3? Well, as humans, we have enough experience to figure out that tree 1 is much better than tree 2 or tree 3 for this decision, but the question is how computers decide which tree is better. Humans can often decide which tree is better based on experience, but computers don't have experience. They rely solely on data. The idea is simple. Computers can test all possible trees using the available data, compare their accuracy, and select the tree that performs best. But there is a problem. The number of possible trees grows exponentially with the number of questions or features. Testing all possible trees would be too slow and practically impossible for large datasets. So, in practice, we use smart algorithms to efficiently find good trees without testing every possibility. Now let's see how a decision tree works step by step using a practical example. Deciding whether to bring an umbrella, we start with a set of candidate root questions. These are all the possible questions we could ask to make the decision. In step 1, we choose the best root question. Here, the forecast predicting rain is more informative. If the forecast says yes, we bring the umbrella. If the forecast says no, we don't bring it for now. Step 2 handles exceptions. Even if the forecast says no, other factors may influence the decision. If the sky is cloudy and I have long outdoor plans, I should bring the umbrella. Otherwise, I don't bring it. This shows how decision trees refine decisions step by step. So, the workflow of a decision tree is start with candidate questions, choose the best root question, handle exceptions by adding decision nodes, reach a leaf node which gives the final decision. By following this process, decision trees mimic human-like reasoning, asking the most important question first and refining decisions as needed. And that's how you can make quick step-by-step decisions using a decision tree. Remember, whether it's checking the weather or planning your day, asking the right questions in the right order makes life much easier. And that's it for today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss our next tutorial. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.